Uh, there was a very interesting article written by a woman who says that I'm an influencer. Here's why a lot of us fake actually going to Coachella.
Yeah, this is a TikToker named Lauren Gray, who has been to Coachella many times. But she decided to expose that a lot of influencers don't even bother to buy tickets to the event, and they just go out to the desert and take outfit pictures in a few different outfits and schedule posts saying like Coachella day 1, Coachella day 2. Let's show her video where she explains this.
Is that right here?
Yeah.
All right, that's a still. We're looking for this one right here? Brush. Right there. Okay, hold on. Let me do volume here. I remember it's loud on TikTok.
I've personally seen anyone talk about this, but I think it's hilarious and I have to share it because it's Coachella.
It's not on the
Coachella's
screen.
like the influencer. Okay, I haven't personally seen anyone talk about this, but I think influencers or a lot of influencers don't even go to Coachella, and I think that this is such a wild fact. They'll go out to the desert, get like an Airbnb, stay with someone, get their outfits, get their hair, get their makeup, post up Coachella day 1, Coachella day 2, and they don't go to the festival. They don't have wristbands. They just drive their little butts out to the desert to take Instagram photos, make TikToks, get ready with memes, whatever, and then they drive back, and that's it. So if you feel bored,
the world is fake.
Are you surprised to learn this?
No, because the first thing I thought of was the people going to BLM rallies and taking pictures and then like, I'm out of here, bye.
True.
That was the very first thing I thought of, is that
But that comes with all the moral baggage.
Yeah, events are now a form of social capital, so you just go and take your picture. What the very first thing I thought about, like a funny version of this, if I was to make like a joke video, it'd be like a Midwestern, like a Minnesota influencer pretending to go to the state fair. Like going out, taking it's stupid, but it's like you'd go out, take a picture in front of the state fair, but you're like, I don't have time to go in there and eat all that fried food. I'm out of here.
Just Photoshop yourself into
a
picture from the fair. But I think that Coachella, like award shows or like the Met Gala or any of these celebrity events, it is losing relevance each year as we go on. And they're having trouble actually getting people to the event. It's also more expensive and less convenient to go every year. I found this article that said, I'm 29 years old and I'm too old for Coachella.
It's just sad.
And she was talking about how different it felt to go when she was 21. And like, it was in 2014 and everyone was wearing flower crowns. It had a lot less demand so that the grounds were smaller. You didn't have to lug yourself around like a 40,000 acre property.
That's how Frank Ocean got hurt. He was on a motorcycle because the grounds are so large. They were on like dirt bikes or something to get around, and that's how he got hurt. And that's why his performance was so horrible.
Yeah, I don't know how people at this event don't like die of heat stroke regularly, but you have to walk a mile to just get to the entrance in the desert to just get into the event. And by then you're like delirious and there's, drugs involved and drinking.
Do you think part of this comes from
you don't even know where you are?
Do you think part of this comes from like the prevalence of like travel influencers? The people who get to, they literally just get, they just get paid to just travel around and look important at spas and villas and stuff like that.
Okay, if an influencer gets flown out to Dubai, it's because she's in a sex trafficking ring.
Or she's going to be asked or the sugar daddy is going to ask her to do very, very unenviable things.
Right, yeah. So Dubai, that's crossed off the list. But I think the best travel influencers are the wedding destination photographers, because at least you're doing that for a job.
Tom from MySpace.
But your job just existing in this place and then posting about it saying, take me back.
Yeah. It's the meme that says I'm taking my kids, my daughter on a bunch of vacations so that she's not impressed by your dusty ass trip to Miami.
Girls trip.
Yeah. But that's what Tom from MySpace does now. He's a travel photographer.
That's great.
When he sold his
I love that for him.
Yeah, he gets to just travel around and take pictures of stuff.
And And increasingly, Coachella is just about wearing something and posting it, not actually seeing musical acts.
I remember when we talked about the video of the girl dancing in the Sam's Club and everybody was making fun of her, the old video from COVID, right? Well, that's Enola Beddard, and she's now a very famous dancer. And I still remember last year she did like the all my outfits at Coachella like beforehand, and
but
here I am lapping it up like a total loser, like watching all of it. But she's also, I think she was performing as like a dancer on stage for one of the acts, so that might have been different. Okay. And she also did what's the other one? She did the influencer one, not Coachella, but
Revolve Festival, which we talked about last year. Yeah. Because that was like actually very close to when I first got here. Revolve like Fest was like Fire Festival 2.0, but now Fire Festival 2.0 is actually gonna happen. And now this year it was an invite-only event. Again, much more exclusive, to the point where they invited a musician named Pink Pantheress, who mostly has gone viral on TikTok, and nobody there knew her. Seemingly,
I would never. This is why I will never go to a public event, because I don't want to be this. I don't want to be in this position.
She had to address a situation. Someone took a video from her performance where she was literally begging the crowd to give a little energy.
You can lay on here and be like, "That's fine if you're tired. It's very hot." But for all those that have energy, please provide it for not just me, but for everyone around you. Please.
I feel bad for her. I do.
I'm from the UK, like, come on! No.
She had a little bit of a response there at the end.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beg you, though, only if you want to.
She's like, yeah,
well, you did just beg them.
Yeah, like,
so.
I'm not going to beg you twice. That's it. We got a $20 one right there.
Oops. Sorry, I accidentally closed the super chats.
From guitarist Gabe.
Guitarist Gabe said, on the people pretending to go to the BLM protest, I distinctly remember myself and a few friends being offered $100 to go to the local BLM protest. We denied, but they continued asking other people at the mall to go. Weird.
That is freaking weird, dude.
Look, $100 or
is there a time? How long do you got to be there?
Gassed?
How long do you got to be there?
Is it worth it?
How long do you got to be there?
How do you are they gonna even know whether you showed up or not?
Can you bring your own gas mask?
How can they enforce that?
Yeah,
you know,
like
I would have taken the money and been like, totally, I'm gonna see you there.
Like, is there a time limit? Do you only have to be there for a specific amount of time? You go there, you get your selfie, and it's really funny too, because like in Minnesota, the protests were happening all over, and I'm in like South St. Paul, which is just old people. And in kids, and like in younger kids, I guess, that go to the high school, and just seeing all of these just teenage girls out there protesting as people are just trying to go to the damn DMV, and it was kind of surreal in a way. Yeah,
many have theorized protest is the replacement for art in our day and age.
Kind of, in a way. Like it's a lot less. It takes a lot less talent to go to a protest.
Yeah, so. I remember distinctly Madison Beer taking all of those pictures at BLM, and people exposed her for doing it just for the photo op. But it's like, if you didn't know that these other influencers were doing that before, like, you're clueless.
It's why I'm so adamant about not ever, like, it's not just enough to not be an activist. Your goal in life should be anti-activist. I don't believe you most of the time. Even if you believe what you're saying, a lot of times I feel like a lot of the activism is misguided. And, you know, your goal should be to not be an activist about anything.
For some people called activists, they're really do-nothings.
Yes. Layabouts.
Yeah, they're layabouts. I wanted to also play this video of Pink Pantheress from a different performance where people theorized she was quiet quitting.
This one?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. She does look like she just would rather be anywhere else.
Just blatantly lip syncing.
I want to get a copyright.
Also has her handbag on her shoulder the entire time.
The song is horrible. Like, so
is she drunk? Like, what's the deal?
She like kind of used the microphone, kind of not use the microphone.
She couldn't decide whether she was gonna commit to the bit, and then people commented that they thought she kind of flopped this performance and like threw it because she was only paid $200 allegedly.
I mean, I can empathize with like I have days where I get done with the show and I'm just like, wow, that was horrible, Brett.
Yeah.
Like there are days where I take off my headphones and I'm like, it is shocking that you can be this bad some days. And most of the time, like I forget about it later. But
you usually overestimate how bad
like
shows are.
if it's a day that ends in Y, I take off the headphones. I'm like, good job, loser. Like that's my take on most things that I do. But I find that having a healthy sense of critique for yourself is a good thing most of the time.
Yeah.
To an extent, it's good to be critical of yourself rather than think too highly of yourself and assume that you could never screw up and you can't ever make a mistake. There are days where I go back and I watch some things. I'm like, oh, that wasn't too horrible. But I don't watch my clips very often. Like if it does, it's because it's something that we have to make for social media or it's something that has to be edited. Like I'm not going through and watching any of the stuff that I when I'm talking. Ugh.
So Frank Ocean couldn't do his show then because he was injured.
Yeah, they said there were supposed to be a bunch of like ice skating hockey players on ice on like an elevated ice rink. And because he got hurt, he couldn't do that. And they said that it was like the worst. Like it was so bad that multiple articles from multiple outlets were like, why was this so bad? And normally you don't see stuff like that. I mean, bad performances happen all the time in music. It's a thing. Not every performance is gonna be great, but apparently this one was so bad that they said that it felt like he just didn't care.
The ice rink thing is bizarre.
Yeah.
Sounds stupid. I don't understand why Frank Ocean is a headliner at Coachella anyway.
In 2023.
In 2023 when he has no new music. Where's the hype coming from?
Frank Ocean.
And the music he does have out.
I feel the same
but
way
it's
about
not amazing.
I feel the same way about John Legend. It just doesn't hit with me. I'll never understand the appeal.
Some people are just very.
I did like the song "Lost" back in like 2013 from Frank Ocean. That was fine.
I'm not saying he doesn't have good songs. It's just like, why is this person a headliner? I think it's probably because you have blacklisted Kanye, who deserves to be at Coachella this year.
Also, they got fined almost $200,000 because they went over curfew all 3 nights.
Oh, really?
On Friday and Saturday, the curfew is 1 a.m. On Sunday, the curfew is midnight, and they went over by over 20 minutes on every single one of those performances.
Why?
Frank Ocean, and maybe because he's limping his ass up to stage, I have no idea. But for the other nights, who knows? It's like, is it even like? And Frank Ocean, when he was done, he goes, "They're telling me it's after curfew, so that's the end of the show." Like, he doesn't go like, curfew, we're past curfew, but we don't care.
I hate this, like the way that artists are so flippant and like, I don't
Shawn
know.
Mendes would have just not gone because his mental health would have
no
been the
will
problem.
anymore.
Yep.
No.
And Taylor Swift, only Taylor Swift. She's the only musician that has any will anymore. She adds shows. She's like, I'm going through a troublesome time. I'm going to add shows to my roster. I'm going to add songs because she's a Chad.
Yeah, I'm gonna like swim in a pool on stage.
Yeah. She's the only one
and then come
left.
out on a different part of the stage. Yeah, she's like doing like Houdini-esque tricks.
She's the only one left with any showmanship.
Showmanship, that's what it is. Where's the showmanship at?
Yeah. Also, I do want to point out.
Pride?
I do want to point out. Speaking, since we're talking about musical acts. I got a message on Instagram today. Apparently, I was delivering fake news about Post Malone. They said that Post Malone. They said he's got a correction on the Post Malone Raising Cain location, so you aren't spreading fake news. He didn't buy the location, but he asked the owner to build the location close to his house and design the building per the article. There's a vending machine with Post Malone merch in the store.
That's funny.
So I was fake newsing it.
He doesn't own it. Okay.
So he doesn't own it, but he could if he wanted to.
I'm sure.
He's Post Malone.
Yeah.
He's another one who I actually get a kick out of the fact that he just looks sloshed at most of his shows back in the day.
He doesn't just look sloshed. He is sloshed at all of his shows, but he's in recovery now.
Yes. He's looking skinny. We talked about this the
Lost
other day.
some weight.
He's lost a lot of weight.
Backlash for it.
Yeah. Do you think that like a lot of when we're talking influencers, right? It just feels like the whole world is a stage now and everything's fake. Like nothing. Like if you're a creative person, the whole world is something you can now manipulate to turn to your advantage if you're a social media influencer. Now somebody could just go like, I can't afford to go to the Met Gala, but I'll just get I'll put my gown on and go take pictures out front of it.
Yes, okay, that's what I meant. I feel like normies treat Coachella like it's their version of the Met Gala, because the Met Gala is for an upper echelon of mainstream celebrities
with higher price tickets now.
Like $50,000 per person ticket prices. Yeah. And Coachella, they're treating it like their own Met Gala. It has nothing to do with what the event is actually supposed to be about, which is music. It's all about appearances and who is invited to the after parties and the side shows and the side events. Their promotions for clothing brands and the brand deals. It's all about the accoutrement.
The best influencers have found a way to fake sincerity enough while manipulating algorithms to trick the public.
I wouldn't call them manipulating algorithms unless they're...
Use the algorithm to their advantage.
Yeah.
Not manipulating.
Yeah, the people manipulating algorithms, like China, TikTok.
But they know how to lean into what's popular. Like we were just talking about Gideon the other day, and there was a thing that came up where he was talking about he got caught in a rut at like 244,000 subscribers, and talked about like having to figure out where in the algorithm, like how to use the algorithm to like to get out of that rut. And that's putting a lot of like what's supposed to be like clever, witty, or irreverent material out there that actually has a lot of thought put into it. It's not always just like one of my favorite trends to watch. Have you ever seen the videos? It's like rating strangers basketball shots where these people, they run up to people like with like 5 guys holding a basketball hoop. They set it down and they pass the ball to a stranger and have them shoot. And then so they rate all of the shots of the people that shoot. Usually it's like 6 people miss or get close. And then the last one nails it. And then it cuts to the music and they all go jump on the guy and give him high fives.
Yeah,
like that's just
fake.
That's an idea that somebody came up with. They're like, oh, that's clever. So somebody's watching that like that could happen to me one day. No, not really.
What about Dude Perfect?
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah. So it's everything. You should approach everything you see on social media and with influencers with a heavy amount of skepticism.
I just like that nobody cares about Coachella anymore. And James Charles like assless chaps.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.